Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Bland-Selix with Senior Life Network, and I want to welcome you to this version of Community Talk. I am joined today by one of my colleagues, AJ Shorter. He is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Alzheimer's Association that's located locally here in Enid. And we're just going to visit with you a little bit about senior life, and we're going to talk about a program. AJ is going to be doing a presentation at Senior Life Network on the 13th at 1:30 p.m. on the basics of Alzheimer's. And it's a follow-up to, we did a presentation in November called Know the 10 Signs of Alzheimer's. And so this is a follow-up to that to give people a little bit more in-depth information. So this is AJ Shorter. He's a community fixture of Enid. He's been here forever. One of his he's best known for being at the Long-Term Care Authority of Enid. And he has a true passion for the well-being of seniors, as I do too. But anyway, AJ, good to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you. Just tell me a little bit about your mission at the Alzheimer's Association.
The Alzheimer's Association is the largest national association of its kind. It directs much funding, advocacy. The current legislature in Washington has recently added $358 million to Alzheimer's research. And a lot of that's directly as a result of the advocacy that the Alzheimer's Association does at the national level. We are involved in trying to find a cure. It's a cliche, but we are literally in the business of trying to put ourselves out of business.
Right.
The scourge of Alzheimer's is it's a terrible thing, and our goal is to eradicate it through research, and until its eradication, to support the people that suffer from Alzheimer's and those that care for them, give them the support, the information, and the access to resources that can help them in that journey.
Yes, it's a horrible, when you talk to people who have dealt with it in their families and it seems to be run in a lot of families, it's a very devastating disease. As I said, we're going to do, AJ is going to do a presentation at 1:30 on Wednesday. If you get your Senior Life Network calendar, it's Wednesday the 13th at 1:30, and it'll last about an hour, and he does a great job of presenting the facts. And we like to have a lot of informative programs for our members and for others in the community. It's not just for our members. So anyway, I know that AJ is very passionate about Alzheimer's, and there's a couple of things that missions you kind of have in 2016. So you want to tell us about one of those? I know one of them is speaking to community groups.
Yes. My job, if you will, is to help educate the community. I will speak to any group of any size, anytime, any place, for any length of time. That's one of our major goals. A second major goal we have is to better engage the medical community in being able to better diagnose and to counsel people that have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Right.
Then there is a third stage that we are very focused on for this coming year, and that's called Trial Match. We all know that a lot of research goes on for all kinds of medical conditions.
Right.
Well, you've got to get people into those studies in order to have a study.
Exactly.
Well, the Alzheimer's Association has a program called Trial Match, and through Trial Match, it's a Alzheimer's only database that the Alzheimer's Association keeps that can put people in contact with studies for Alzheimer's issues.
Right.
And it's everybody. They need people that are in perfectly good health. They need people that are in the extremities of Alzheimer's.
Right.
And all kinds of people in between.
It's a very interesting way that they do it, because I think you said you might be contacted, you might not. But you fill out the little card and mail it in.
Very simple. Fill out the card, mail it in, get it back to me. It doesn't matter. You will be contacted by email. No one will show up on your doorstep.
Right. Which is
No
nice.
one will show up on your caller ID unless you request that.
Right.
The people that are doing the studies will present to you and say, hey, we have a study and we think your
qualify
profile
or,
might
yeah.
make you useful. Would you consider? And it's totally your choice. There's
Well,
never
it's
any cost involved at any level. It's strictly voluntary.
A great way to get people involved.
Well, it is a way that people can contribute to the fight against Alzheimer's in a very, very substantive way.
Right.
Because there are over 200 and some odd studies currently going on, and at least probably 3/4 of those cannot go forward because they just don't have enough people to populate the study. So
Right.
we think trial match is going to be very important, particularly in this coming year, because it is a particular focus of our chapter this year.
Right. I know another thing that we've discussed is that there is currently no local Alzheimer's support group in Enid. And how does the association help people who might be interested in doing something like this?
Local Alzheimer's support groups are one of the best ways that you can deal or help the Alzheimer's community. In Enid, we do not have currently an Alzheimer's support group. If anybody is interested in forming a support group, we're there.
Right.
We can bring, we have, out of our Oklahoma City office, we have professional instructors that can come and train a primary and a secondary group leader for an Alzheimer's support group. And going forward, as that group needs support itself, we are there to provide that support.
Which is awesome, because a lot of people, I know they would like to do something, have a
lot of
loved
people-
one, or they're a caregiver.
Isn't there
and they're
someplace I
not-
can go?
Right, and they're not sure about how, so it's awesome that they have that training.
Exactly.
And all of the things that you need to do this.
Yes.
And do it the right way.
And to do it well.
And to truly support these people and give them some help.
And it's something that a community the size of Enid could easily support 3 different groups.
Right.
I would love to see 3 Alzheimer's support groups in Enid.
Well, it'd be great to have one that was just for caregivers. It would be great to have one that was for people that were actually, sufferers
Exactly
of the
right.
disease.
And that is the model we use. It is for everybody from simply concerned neighbors, family members, people with the disease, people that are just interested. All sorts of people are, everybody's going to be affected by Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
Everybody's going to know somebody. Everybody's going to have a family member, unfortunately. And we think that the support groups are the best way to deal directly with the needs of those people.
Well, it's an amazing, I think so many people feel like that, all of a sudden so many people are being diagnosed with it. And it's kind of scary, but I think it's just because for years everyone had someone in their family maybe that, kind of no one knew exactly what was
Exactly
wrong
right.
with them.
Yeah, we knew Uncle Harry was slipping, but we just thought he was old. Well, entirely possible that's not the case. Entirely possible there is something actually going on there. Alzheimer's is a disease. It's not a collection of symptoms. It's not this. It's actually a disease of the brain. And unfortunately, age is the #1 risk factor.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean that everybody that gets old is going to have Alzheimer's. And unfortunately, it doesn't mean that everybody that has Alzheimer's is old.
Right.
There is over 200,000 people in the United States under the age of 65 suffer from Alzheimer's, called young onset.
Right.
So it's all ages, it's all groups. And the Alzheimer's Association wants to be the first line. We want to be the first place you go to when you realize you're dealing with that sort of situation.
Right. Well, and that is, Senior Life Network is a partnership between Integris and the Northwest Oklahoma Osteopathic Foundation. And one of our mission, we have a brand new, I became the director in June, and since then we have a mission to enrich the lives of active adults in Northwest Oklahoma, and bringing programs like this to inform people about some of the things that, you know, they deal with is one of our primary missions, and we just feel like that to be able to do these kind of programs. Our demographic has changed a little bit. Senior Life Network used to be just primarily known for exercise programs, and we still have a lot of that. We have 18 classes by our exercise guru, Deb Sexton, and you can see her here on Enid TV. And she does a fantastic job, and physical activity is a great part of, you know, staving away Alzheimer's. But having these kind of programs like this, that I'm just so thankful that we have people in our community that we can have programs to present to educate and inform people about some of the things that are going on. And again, this is going to be Wednesday at 1:30 at Senior Life Network. Give us a call at 580-234-6060, and we can put you down so you have a seat. And again, we'll have AJ Shorter there. And it's just been, you know, anything else you want to say about the presentation?
Well, the tie-in with your exercise programs. Healthy heart, healthy mind is one of our phrases that we use. The Alzheimer's has no known preventative except good health, physical good health, mental good health go hand in hand.
So that goes, it's a great
tie-in,
partnership together.
A great partnership between what you're already doing, which is helping seniors maintain their health. And by maintaining physical health, you also maintain mental health. And we're real excited about that.
Well, I just am so thankful that we have you, and I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Community Talk, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Community Talk. I'm Cody Jolliffe, Education Director at the Heritage Center, and today I have Rob Houston from Visit Enid. How's it going, Rob?
Hi, Cody. How are you?
Doing good, man.
Good. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. It's you know, we got Christmas rolled right through, and we had tons of events all across town, and definitely at the Heritage Center. And now rolling into the new year, so lots going on.
It just keeps going, whether we want it to or not. We just keep moving forward. And one thing that our office was working on over the the end of the year and coming into this year was our new travel guide.
Oh yeah,
and so we just got these. These are hot off the press. We got these on Tuesday afternoon. And so I'll put that up there, and I know we're going to have another shot of it later on, but this is the new travel guide. We're delivering them all across town today. There's like 44 pages full of Enid information. It has restaurants, it has the different attractions, leading off, of course, with the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center. We also have family fun options, our hotels, just everything about Enid that a visitor would want to know. This is designed for a visitor who comes to town and doesn't really know what Enid has to offer.
Right. Yeah, we handle a lot of these at the Heritage Center. A lot of times, you know, we're often the first stop because we're on the east side of town, and folks come in and they want to know. You know, they've done that, they spent some time with us, and they want to know what's next or where do you go to lunch or whatever. And it's great because it has a map, you know, and I can, you know, suggest some places and circle them on the map, and they can go right to it. So they always love to get one of those guides. And and see what other attractions they want to do.
Exactly. You mentioned the map. We make it easy. It's 44 pages. So on page 22, which is right in the middle, it just opens right up, and there's the map.
Yeah.
So and we do that for a reason. We do
Right,
that on
right,
purpose,
right.
so people driving along, they can find it. It's easy for them to see where it is. The map is not to scale, but it's
Right.
it gives you a good idea of how. Of how the town's laid out,
Yeah.
and where all of the different attractions and restaurants and that kind of thing are.
Yeah,
So.
sure. The museum and the Heritage Center, and you guys work together a lot on promoting, the Heritage Center, and you guys kind of promote everything, so the whole package of.
We do. We
different
promote
travelers.
Enid. Whatever's going on in Enid, we're not membership based, so we don't have that. So we have to push our members first.
Right.
We promote the Heritage Center, Leonardo's, the Railroad Museum, the Midgley Museum. We promote events at the Event Center. We promote events at the Expo Center. Just wherever events are going on that have the possibility of bringing people to town. That's what we promote.
Right.
And we did a lot of things for the Heritage Center with Christmas in the Village, trying to get folks there, group tours and things like that. And I know that Christmas in the Village, the first night of it that you opened, I heard was extremely successful.
Oh yeah,
So.
we had a great time. We had a huge turnout. So I think people think about travel guides too. If they have family coming to town or something, pick one up and put it in the guest room for them.
Well, exactly. We leave a lot of these with our hotels. I was just at a hotel this past week as I was delivering these, and they asked for an extra box. They said, I'm handing them out to all my guests as they check in.
Oh, great.
So that's exactly what these are for.
Yeah,
so we
great.
love to hear that.
Well, I just kind of want to mention a few things we have coming up. Of course, we've been taking down Christmas this week, and it's kind of a good time to clean up, but it's so sad. All the Christmas decorations are coming down out of the historic buildings. But we kind of have a fun new little exhibit that'll open here in a few days called Rooted In, and it's some artists from the area, and it's all about, as you can imagine, plants and kind of outdoor life. So it's really neat. There's pottery, there's photography, and then two-dimensional painted artwork.
I love the way that your museum, when they were going through all the renovations and how they were going to promote the new museum, left a space for a temporary exhibits.
Oh, yeah.
That's because if you go through a museum one time, okay, what is there now to see? Why do I need to go back?
Right.
And a lot of the museums fall into that category of, I'm trying to get people to come back, get repeat business, but I don't change anything up.
Right, kind of a once and done stamp kind of thing.
So I love the fact that the people that were planning the building when the renovations were going on, 6-7 years ago, planned that temporary exhibit area, because that allows you to keep a lot of things fresh. You can bring the exhibits in for a month or 3 months or whatever, and then you move on to something else. And it gives people another reason to come back to see you.
It does. Really good. One thing that, of course, a couple things, we'll be teaming up in promoting will be the 75th anniversary of Vance Air Force Base. We're gonna have a huge exhibit on that, and of course the Air Force announced they're gonna have the air show during that time. So it'll be a really good time for the community to kind of focus on that relationship between the community of Enid and Vance, all being kind of one family.
See, in between that, I think you guys have coming up the end of February and all through March, the Trappings Show, which is always fun. This is what, the 3rd or 4th year that you've done that,
yeah.
And it just seems to grow every year.
Yeah, it does. It's all Oklahoma artists, and it's a really neat show. That'll be coming up, like you said, it'll open the very end of February and run through March. So
what I like about it is people can buy it if they like it and the price is right. They can buy the art right there and then.
That's true, and that's also the same way with the Rooted In. That's
Okay.
That's going to open here in just a few days. So they're doing all the final setup on it this week.
Very good, very good. So the Heritage Center is obviously it was voted Oklahoma's best new attraction back in 2012, the year after it opened, and it just continues to grow and prosper. And it's one of our big tools in our tool belt when we're trying to promote Enid is you have to make a stop at the Heritage Center.
Yeah.
All the groups that we have coming in, you have to go to the Heritage Center and spend some time there. And I know you really enjoy dressing up in your period costumes
Yep.
and showing people around. And
it's a lot of fun. I like to talk about, what it is how people lived, when they got up in the morning, what was their life like, and compare that to ours today, so
I don't even want to imagine. we have it so much easier than they did back then.
Yeah, we do, for sure. We definitely do. Just thinking about turning on tap water, not even though it's cold, now we have cold water, hot water, showers, you don't even think about those things, flip a light switch on. So it's a lot of conveniences we have today.
A lot of conveniences, and thanks to those early pioneers that made the land run and settled in this part of the state. And
yeah,
that's where Enid is today, is that entrepreneurial spirit that started back in 1893.
Oh, definitely.
And continues to make Enid what it is today.
One of those big groups during that time was the Germans from Russia. And so on the second Wednesday of this month, we'll have Dr. Schmaltz from Northwestern Oklahoma State University out of Alva, and coming in to give our noon brown bag on the second Wednesday lecture. And he'll be talking about that group of people and why they settled here, and kind of what happened, what their story is.
I learned a lot as you were getting ready to open. We brought some people in and did some tours, and I learned something new about every time I walked in there.
Yeah.
And one of the things is I didn't realize how heavy the Russian influence was during that time, and a lot of Russians came in during that time. I did not realize that. So.
Yeah, we're also toward the end of January and into February, we'll be changing out about 5 or 6 different cases throughout the main gallery. So we always kind of have some little rotating cases throughout that we change out annually, so that we kind of keep it fresh and everything. I think most of them this year are going to focus on women and women's fashion throughout the different ages and all kinds of stuff. So we have about 10% of our collection on display, and so we bring out and change it out in different things. So Sarah Hardaway is working on those cases and getting them all ready. So I think it'll be interesting thing. We have a lot of different exhibits to come see. So the Rooted In, the Trappings, the Vance Air Force Base. So we're really excited about all the different exhibits we'll have this year.
A lot going on in 2016.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, though, what my ultimate favorite thing is in the Heritage Center.
What's that?
It is the chain.
Oh, the survey chain.
The survey chain. Because back in the 1800s, how they figured out 160 acres of land, and they did it one link at a time.
Right.
And you hear that story, but then when you got the exhibit, that you put the exhibit up at the chain, and people see that when they walk out of the theater.
They do.
And it's right there, and that blows me away every time I see it. It's like, how much work did it take to measure off the entire Cherokee outlet?
Right. They did that whole survey about 20 years before the land run, and surveyed it down to the quarter section. And I do an education program where we take out a half chain. It's a little easier for 4th, 5th grade students to measure with that. But it's pretty tiring work, and it takes a whole crew. You have the chainman and the surveyor and everything. So, but we offer that to classes. It's fun. It's a kind of fun way to learn some different math skills and geometry skills. So.
But that exhibit, the one I like was the photos of old Enid, where you can push the buttons, and the interactive thing. I like that. But then when you put the chain in there, that was just like, that just blows me away. It just does. Every time I just look at that, and my jaw drops in wonder. It's like, wow, they did that.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
It's pretty fun. Well, another thing that we'll be kind of co-promoting coming up for the new year, 2016, will be Chautauqua.
Yes.
And Chautauqua at the Heritage Center this summer will be about the 3rd week of June this year, and it's all about the Cold War. So if you're on the mailing list for Chautauqua, we're sending out a big mailer this week.
Okay.
So you'll get info about this summer is about Cold War, and I believe the patron social is the Fabulous 50s.
Nice.
And so kind of tie in with a little different aspect, not so red button scare, of firing missiles at each other,
Right.
but a little higher, a little brighter side for a dinner party. So
Yeah, that's good. Chautauqua was another very unique event for our community. This is
It
what,
is.
21 or 22 years
Yes,
straight
yes.
that Chautauqua has been offered. It's always free. All the events are free, the workshops as well as the performances in the evening.
Right.
Under the big top in the Humphrey Heritage Village, and it's a program that has grown, a little bit each year.
It does, yeah.
There's a certain group of people that will come every night,
Right,
and
right.
they're going to be there. But it's always neat. I've been asked the last several years to MC one of the nights, and
Sure.
I always ask, where are you coming from?
Right.
Who's not from Enid? Who's come from the farthest? And I've had people in the same night. One was from California, and one was from, I think, Maryland. So
Yeah.
I couldn't tell which one was the farthest, but they both kind of won the prize.
There
But,
you go. A lot of them, I didn't hear a lot of people in town, that's when they come and visit, mom and dad or grandparents or whatever the family comes to their summer vacation visit during that time, so they can get a couple nights of Chautauqua in. So we'll have some pretty good characters this summer. And then the winter program is all about Christopher Columbus.
Very nice. And that's in March, I think? Or
I can't remember. It's coming up soon, though.
look at my
So,
handy dandy visitor guide. February.
Yeah.
February. I don't have the specific date, but it is in February. So, and that'll be out at Northwestern, who's always been a good partner for
Oh,
Chautauqua.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So I want to mention that the Heritage Center, as we come into this new year, if you're getting a little cabin fever and want something to do, you can come out and volunteer. We're always accepting volunteers. You don't have to wait till a new class of volunteers starts. You can just jump in with us. And it's volunteers for different types of people. Some people think that if you're going to volunteer at the museum, you have to be a people person and work in education and give tours. Yeah, we have people that do that, and then we have just the complete opposite type of people that want to set and catalog things. So they're down with our collections team, and they're going through artifacts and documents and organizing them, and or researching. If you're kind of a little detective, we have a lot of people who we give them a research request, and they go through the whole thing. So
I love the fact that you provide like the ancestry.
Right.
Information so people can come and trace their family tree and just everything that's done behind the scenes. You think of the museum and all your exhibits, and you're out in front of the public with all your education things and all. But Aaron Preston does a great job downstairs.
He does.
And I give a shout out to him because. We've had a few requests and some strange things that have come through our office people asking those questions. It's like, I don't know, but I know somebody that does. And I call Aaron, and he looks it up, and I get an answer like really fast.
He's the wizard with the answers.
Yes. So and he's not seen very often by the public because he's downstairs and he's doing all those things that need to be done to keep the information going and keep the exhibits, kind of right.
That's right. All right, Rob. Well, I appreciate visiting with you today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
We look forward to working with you in 2016.
All right. Take it away.